Washington last year had a ton of games that come down to the wire. I've seen a zillion last-second field goals and stuff, but a true Hail Mary, dude, those don't come around very often. That being said, at the enormity of that moment, what it meant for Washington, what it meant for Chicago, is their season completely fell apart after that. Dan Quinn, Jaden Daniels, these guys do not want to talk about it.
It was one of the most fun chapters of last year. It is last year's story. It's not this year's. But probably like most of us, there's like the longer a scramble goes on a Hail Mary, at least you know the ball is going to get off. It's a play that's also, and I think Aaron Rodgers probably been one of the best that I've seen going against it, of buying time, when to go, how high you have to throw it to create trajectory to go down, because you have to have time for the players to get down the field so far. So it's something that the guys work on. But yeah, it was rare and fun and all those things.
Hi, Coach. On the same topic, when you're helping the guys prepare this week, how much do you talk about that play and the end of that game versus recognizing Chicago's a different team this year and you have a whole different week of preparation ahead?
Yep, that was the first I talked about it right there.
You haven't adjusted with the team at all?
Zero.
Do you plan to?
None.
Gotcha. That's all I had.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's last year's story. Like it was awesome. We loved it, but like it doesn't apply to this week's game at all unless we get into that exact scenario and that exact situation. So then we can talk about it. But until then, like we got a lot of stuff to get better at and work on to get ready.
I know last year was last year, but there's a lot of attention on the Hail Mary, obviously playing the Bears again. What is your biggest memory of that night, and then what is the biggest takeaway for you from that play?
I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. I just leave that last year. It speaks on is about itself.
You don't want to look back at last year, the Hail Mary, all that. You don't seem to want to do that with a lot of things. Why is that? Like, what don't you want to look back at? Like,
I mean, that Hail Mary ain't going to help us win a game on Monday, so what's the point?
All right, big man. DQ and Jaden are crystal clear. They're not focused on last year. Ben Johnson, the Bears head coach, also came out and said that was last year. It has no impact on us. I mean, Ben Johnson wasn't even the coach. I say it all the time. A football season is a living, breathing organism that shifts over the year and starts fresh every subsequent year. Like Debo wasn't here. A lot has changed for the Bears, the entire coaching staff. Caleb Williams looks like a different player. So I agree that it really has no last year's Hail Mary has zero bearing on this season and this upcoming game. I know you think it's going to provide Chicago with extra motivation. Certainly Tyreek Stevenson, the corner that famously was just completely disengaged from the Hail Mary, has talked how it changed his life and how he's like recommitted himself, and that's terrific. I tend to agree that last year's game has no bearing on this year's game. I think you might feel different.